Today I'm going to show you how to make a Captain America shield. Alright, so the materials we are going to need today include a foam board that is by 20 by 30 inches and 3/16 inches thick, a ruler, a pencil, some string, or in this case dental floss will work, some scotch tape, a couple paintbrushes, some red satin acrylic paint, some white satin acrylic paint, blue satin acrylic paint, and an X-Acto knife. Step 1, we are going to mark the center of our board. We are going to mark 10 inches from the short side down. We are going to measure now 15 inches from the longer side. Alright, so these two marks are the center of our board, so we just match these together. Right here is the center of our board. Alright, so next we are going to mark some lines that are going to help us guide us when we create the circles. So to start, we're going to go 4 inches. We're going to go up 2 inches from each line. Then we're going to go another 2 inches. We're done with that. We're going to go an additional 2 more inches for the last part. It's going to be the border of the shield. We are going to tie our string, or in this case dental floss, around the pencil. And it's better to use too much string than too little. Alright, so next what we're going to do is we're going to draw the actual circles. So we're going to do this by taking the string or dental floss, marking it in the center, and putting the pencil straight up right around the edge of the edge of the board, and using some tension to make sure it's perfectly straight, we're going to draw the actual circle. When you finish with that, odds are, like me, you messed up a lot, but that's not going to matter, the outside circles or the outside lines, because you're just going to cut that off anyways. So just make sure you keep track of what lines you're actually going to use. Alright, so next we're going to do the same thing with these next 3 lines, the innermost 3 innermost circles. Alright, so when you finish with that, odds are you're going to have a lot of different lines. Again, that's fine. We're going to be painting over that. Just make sure you keep track of which lines you're actually needing to paint on. So now we're going to start drawing the actual star in the middle. So we're going to start by moving vertically up until the innermost circle and marking a dot right here, and then going around the circle and marking a dot every 2.5 inches. Alright, so after we have our dots on here, we're going to start connecting them to actually start the star. So we're going to start by connecting this top dot with this one down in the left corner. And then we're going to continue and connect this top dot with this bottom right one. Alright, we're now going to connect this bottom left dot with this right one all the way to the side. Now we're going to connect this bottom right to this one over here. Then we're going to connect horizontally across these two. Alright, so now we have our star, so now we can start painting. Alright, so we're going to start by painting the inside of the star. So it's going to be white, but we're going to use tape to mark the edges of the star so we can get those crisp straight lines. Alright, so now that we got all of the tape down on the edges, we can start painting the inside of the star. We're going to be using our white acrylic paint. So while we wait for this white star to dry, we can start painting white on the middle ring as well. Alright, so now after we wait for the white paint to dry, that'll take up around 30 minutes, we're going to start painting the inside of this circle blue around the star. Alright, so once you finish the blue paint, and after I would suggest applying multiple coats, wait for it to dry 30 minutes before continuing. So after we wait 20 to 30 minutes for this paint to dry, we're going to start cutting out the actual shield from the board. And we're going to be using our X-Acto knife for this step. So we're only going to be cutting out the outermost circle. And again, you might have a lot of lines here from messing up earlier on the outermost circle. So just make sure you remember which line you actually want to cut from. And because this foam board has 3 layers, the 2 outermost paper, 1, 2, and then the foam in the middle, This will take 3 to 5 actual cuts to get through it, so just make sure you take your time and be careful. It is also helpful to use the backside to fully make sure that it's cut through, and to fix any small errors that you may see, because the edges could be a little bit different on the backside than they are on the front. Once you get both sides done, you should be able to pop out the shield, and we can dispose of the remaining board. And you also you could just trim off some of these side pieces if they are just protruding a little bit, and just fix the overall shape. Now we're going to finish up by applying the red satin acrylic paint to the remaining parts on the board. When you finish painting on the red, wait another 30 minutes for the paint to dry before continuing on to the next step. Alright, so once you finish with the red painting, all that's left to do is to apply additional coats of paint as you see fit, and to paint along the borders of some of the lines. Like right here, I missed some blue here, so I'm just going to fill that in and do that with all the borders. And now we have finished our Captain America shield.